you?
Me? I'm nobody.
Bob Odenkirk's Nobody is an action thriller that it's sometimes hard to tell if it's meant to be a parody. He's Hutch Mansell, a former government assassin named Nobody. Now living a quiet life with his wife Becca and his 2 kids, who know nothing about their father's dangerous past. A fast-paced montage at the beginning of the movie establishes Hutch's repetitive, mundane routine from morning coffee to catching the bus to work to almost always just missing the weekly garbage pickup. Hutch works for his wife's family's manufacturing business, where his macho brother-in-law treats him with contempt and his gruff father-in-law regards him with a sort of bemused pity. Yet Hutch keeps quiet, maintaining the illusion that he's just another middle-class dad. But when a pair of armed robbers invade the Mansell house and hold Hutch and his family at gunpoint, he realizes that the thieves are just desperate and scared, and so he holds back from violence, even telling his son to stand down. The home invasion is mostly just misdirection, and Hutch's real problems arise when he takes out his aggression on a seemingly random group of thugs who are harassing passengers on a bus. Hutch is just looking for an excuse to put his old skills to use, but it turns out that one of the guys that he sends to the hospital is the brother of Russian mob boss Yulian, who targets Hutch for revenge. At that point, Nobody heads into the full John Wick mode. Hutch even drives a muscle car that he steals from his neighbor, matching John Wick's Ford Mustang with a 1972 Dodge Challenger. But Hutch is a different enough character from John Wick, and Odenkirk is certainly a different enough actor from Keanu Reeves to give Nobody its own flavor. John Wick has nothing to lose, but Hutch still must protect his wife and kids, as well as his elderly father David, who lives in a nursing home and becomes another target for Yulian's goons. Then again, former FBI agent David proves pretty resourceful as well, and if you think Odenkirk is an unlikely action hero, just wait until you see 82-year-old Lloyd enter the fray. Nobody's climax takes place at the manufacturing plant that Hutch has finally managed to purchase for himself, which he then outfits with booby traps like an adult version of Home Alone's Kevin McAllister. By that point, you're either on board with the absurdity or you're not, and director Naishler goes completely nutso, abandoning any pretense of gritty crime drama and going for almost slapstick levels of violence. Odenkirk keeps a straight face throughout though, and that's part of what makes Nobody fun to watch. For Hutch, all of this is serious life or death stuff, even if it may look like a Looney Tunes cartoon to the audience at times. So while Cage or Neeson might have been more obvious choices to lead Nobody, still Odenkirk makes it work, elevating it to something beyond just a throwaway revenge movie with a paper-thin plot. Naishler brings just enough visual flair to keep the action scenes interesting and doesn't go for the gimmickry that he brought to Hardcore Henry, and the supporting players add some flavor to their basic character types. Lloyd is particularly amusing. Colsted peppers in bits of mythology suggesting a wider world, as he's done in the John Wick movies, and the ending leaves the door open to more Nobody adventures. Could there be a franchise in the works? At this point in Odenkirk's career, he can pretty much take on anything.
Why can't we just fly there?
With this luggage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.